There is a moment before every symphony begins, before the first note, before the conductor's hand lifts. It feels as if nothing is happening, but it is the most crucial part of the song. Welcome to the Sebcast, home of the #1 network for your life. Here we turn our beloved stories on their heads, look at what history might have overlooked, and discover together how Jesus invites us into a bigger story where we live, work, and play. Bethlehem also had that moment, before angels sang, before shepherds ran, before the world woke up. There was silence, not dead silence, breath silence. Silence plays a defining role in the Bible. God does not create through noise, he speaks in silence. Elijah met God not in the storm, but in the whisper, 1 Kings 19. Israel waited 400 years between Malachi and Matthew. God works, but no one hears him. Jesus grew for 30 years, unnoticed, unknown, and then the movement began. The resurrection did not start with a trumpet, but with a silent grave and a breath. We live in a world full of noise, a culture that thinks volume equal to truth. But the gospel says the greatest things God does usually happen in silence. And this is where it becomes painful, because many of us pray and it feels like silence. We wait and nothing happens. We feel stuck, empty, tired, and without clarity. But God's silence is not his absence. It is usually his preparation. Because the newspaper will not describe the moment before the angel's song, the algorithm will not post the moment when Mary breathes to process. No one will trend the silence on TikTok. But God works in that silence. Holy pregnancy did not look like a testimony video. It seemed like someone just continuing to live while nothing changed, and everything changed. Imagine Mary sits alone in a stable. The baby breathes. Joseph is silent. The world is caught up in its wealth, its politics, its power play, but God is here. No one sees it, no one measures it, no one knows. But the most significant event in human history happened in a silence where only an animal scurried, a baby sucked, and a mother cried from fatigue and wonder. It was not just a Christmas, it was a revolution in silence. God's song began without a sound. What is our new growth for the #1 network for your life that you are part of and contribute to? It means we must learn to honor silence, not as emptiness, but as grace. A network that only produces noise, sermons, worship, posts, activity, and nothing else misses the heart of God. But a network that learns to rest, to wait, to listen, and to live in trust can change the world without shouting. We can become the kind of church where people learn faith grows slowly, silence is not godless emptiness, waiting is not passive, God forms us rather than just leading us. Bethlehem teaches us the first sound of God's presence is usually breath, not applause. Maybe your prayer life feels dull, maybe your calling feels silent, maybe your life feels slow, but remember, the world's Savior came and most people slept through it, but God was busy in silence. So if it is quiet, don't run away. Sit, wait, breathe. There is a song forming. Until next week, take care.